J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye follows the experiences of Holden Caulfield, a troubled 16-year-old boy who narrates the story from a mental institution. The novel begins with Holden recalling the events leading up to his breakdown. Having just been expelled from Pennsy Prep, a prestigious boarding school, he decides to leave early and spend a few days alone in New York City before returning home for Christmas. Before leaving Pennsy, Holden visits his history teacher, Mr. Spencer, who lectures him about his failures. Unmoved, Holden says goodbye to his dorm mates, including Stradlater, his popular but shallow roommate, and Ackley, an awkward and intrusive student. A confrontation with Stradlater over a girl, Jane Gallagher, whom Holden respects deeply, accelerates his departure. Arriving in New York, Holden checks into the Edmont Hotel, where he observes adult behaviors he finds both intriguing and repulsive. He interacts with several people, including a cab driver who dismisses his philosophical questions about the ducks in Central Park. Seeking companionship, he calls Faith Cavendish, a woman rumored to be easygoing, but she refuses to meet him. Later, Holden visits the Lavender Room, a hotel nightclub, where he dances with 3 older women but finds them shallow. Holden's loneliness intensifies, leading him to hire a prostitute named Sunny. However, instead of engaging with her, he only wants to talk, revealing his deep emotional struggles. When he refuses to pay the full amount demanded by her pimp, Maurice, he is beaten up. The encounter leaves him physically and emotionally drained. The next day, Holden plans to meet Sally Hayes, an attractive but conventional girl he has dated before. Before their meeting, he visits a record store to buy an album for his beloved younger sister, Phoebe. There, he watches a child singing, "If a Body Catch a Body Coming Through the Rye," which deeply resonates with him. He also visits the Museum of Natural History, a place he loved as a child and appreciates its unchanging nature. Meeting Sally at a theater, Holden initially enjoys their time together, but grows frustrated with her superficiality. Impulsively, he suggests they run away together and live in the woods, but she dismisses the idea, leading to an argument. Feeling more isolated than ever, Holden leaves in anger. Seeking solace, he meets his old friend Carl Luce, a former schoolmate now studying at Columbia University. Luce, though intelligent, treats Holden condescendingly, advising him to seek psychiatric help. Feeling abandoned, Holden drinks heavily and roams the city alone. Cold and desperate, he sneaks into his family's apartment to visit Phoebe, the only person who truly understands him. She immediately realizes he has been expelled and scolds him. When he expresses his dream of being the catcher in the rye, saving children from falling off a metaphorical cliff, she understands the depth of his pain. Holden decides to flee the city, but before leaving, he takes Phoebe to the zoo and watches her ride the carousel. This simple act brings him an overwhelming sense of peace and happiness. The novel ends ambiguously, with Holden reflecting on his experiences at the mental institution, implying that he has begun a process of healing, though uncertainty about his future remains. Commentary. J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye is a poignant exploration of adolescence, alienation, and identity. Through Holden Caulfield's unique voice, the novel captures the raw emotions of a young person struggling with the transition from childhood to adulthood. His disdain for phoniness and his yearning to protect innocence makes him a profoundly relatable yet flawed character. The novel's themes, loneliness, mental health, and the struggle for authenticity, remain timeless, resonating with generations of readers. Holden's desire to be the catcher in the rye symbolizes his wish to shield children from the harsh realities of adulthood, reflecting a universal fear of growing up. The narrative's stream of consciousness style and unreliable narration add depth to Holden's character, making the reader question the extent of his emotional turmoil. The Catcher in the Rye remains a classic because of its honest depiction of youthful angst and its enduring relevance in discussions about identity and mental health.